Hello class, this is a review for test number 3 for Business 1B, Managerial Accounting. And you can access the review file, PowerPoint file, if you go to our class on Canvas, click on Modules, and scroll down to Test 3 module, which is after Chapter 9. So here it is, test number 3. So I already opened this file. Here is the file. The test format is very similar to your first two tests. It covers chapters 7, 8, and 9. The test will be open for 2 days according to your class schedule, but you have 1 attempt and 3 hours to complete the test. You cannot save and exit. So it's time limited, just like the previous tests, and you have to finish the test once you start it. It will open at 12:01 a.m. and it will close the following day, 11:59 p.m. Again, you can look up the dates in the class schedule, which is the last page of our syllabus. The test includes 5 extra points, so the total is 155 points, including those 5 extra points. And there are multiple choices and problems. So the problems are similar to your quizzes. So you enter the data, and some of the problems might be exactly the same as from your quizzes, just algorithmically generated, different amounts and different setup, but the concepts are the same. And then you will have 10 to 11 questions, multiple choice questions per chapter. So you used to see only 8 questions. In this test, you will have 10 to 11 questions, and each question is worth 2 points. So you cannot print or copy the test. If you get locked out, email me right away. And each student has a different set of questions and problems. You will be able to see your results right after you finish the test. However, you have to wait until the deadline to see the feedback. So after the deadline, you can go back to test 3 module, click again on the test link, and you can see your answers as well as the feedback, including the correct answers. Okay, so this is probably the most important part because 2/3 of your points come from these problems. In chapter 7, we studied master budget with many different parts. I'm limiting it to just some components of the master budget, so you will have to prepare a production budget, only materials budget out of the manufacturing budget. You don't have to prepare separately direct labor budget or the overhead budget, just a direct materials budget, and also cash budget. I think there's actually 2 problems on the cash budget. So there is no budgeted income statement or balance sheet as a separate problem. Now, you might have multiple choice questions for every concept we covered in chapter 7, but these are the only, it's going to be, I think, problems. Like I said, maybe there is a couple on cash budget, but these are only concepts that you have to do problems for. In chapter 8, we talked about flexible budgets, standard costs, and variances, analyzing variances. You will have to prepare this flexible budget performance report. We did it in the in-class activity, if you're taking it on campus. So you have your flexible budget information for the actual units produced, and you have your actual results. You're comparing them, calculating the difference, and you have to state for each item if it's favorable F or favorable U. And then for variances, I'm asking you to calculate both materials variances, the quantity variance and the price variance, and both labor variances, direct labor variances, which is the rate variance and the efficiency variance. Just like we did in class, just like you did in your homework. I'm not asking you to do overhead variances. Again, you might have a multiple choice question, but there's no separate problem. And then for chapter 9, I'm giving you like indirect costs, and I am asking you, based on some cost driver, allocate them to operating departments, split them up. And then you will have to prepare departmental income statement as well as the contribution to overhead. And then the last thing, I'm asking you to calculate return on investment, profit margin, investment turnover, and residual income. So make sure you have those formulas handy. Write them down when you're preparing for the test before you take it. So this is all the problems. And then after this, you have slides for every chapter and all the concepts that we covered. So this is chapter 7 concepts. So again, multiple choices. You're going to get 10 to 11 questions. And you know, I just create a pool of like 150, 200 questions. And every student gets 10 to 11 questions out of that pool. So it's a fair chance to have questions, multiple choices on any of these concepts. So you can see chapter 7, chapter 8 with all the formulas, and then chapter 9. So I hope you found this review helpful. Take care and good luck on the test.